What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with another video. How will AEW kick off the new year on its flagship show? Well, join us now as we look at this week's edition of Dynamite, as well as the wildest news stories and rumours you need to know, including Money in the Bank coming to the UK, Sasha Banks might not be headed to AEW, Dominik Mysterio gets engaged, William Regal is officially back in WWE, NXT is an awful show, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Also check out our new channel, Wrestlelamia Shorts. Now, as always, we won't recap the matches, but just look at the good, the bad, and the downright ugly. As always, we start off with the good as number 1, Ricky Starks' push continues. Ricky Starks has gone from a diamond in the rough to a budding main eventer. Starks' match with Chris Jericho was more than a good opener, it was a sign of how he's living up to his potential and should have a bright future ahead of him. Adding Action Andretti to his war against the Jericho Appreciation Society will hopefully give Action the rub he needs to get over. Number 2, Darby wins the TNT Championship. Darby Allin's TNT Championship was everything fans have come to expect from him, a story of a crappy underdog overcoming a bigger and more powerful opponent to capture the gold. Hopefully AEW will use Darby's second run to see if he can be elevated to the main event. Number 3, MJF vs Bryan Danielson Iron Man match at Revolution. By now everyone knows Bryan Danielson will make it through whatever gauntlet MJF throws up against him. The AEW Galaxy have seen it all before, and as entertaining as it is, the real payoff is when MJF's opponent gets their hands on him. In this case, it's Bryan Danielson, and he's going to have MJF in an Iron Man match. About that has the match of the year potential. While MJF's microphone skills are off the charts, fans sometimes forget he's an amazing wrestler too, and you can be sure Danielson will elevate the match even further. Number 4, using FTR to put over the Guns, risky but worth it if it pays off. A time to recognise AEW for taking a chance in using FTR to put the Guns over. The Guns aren't garbage, but no one is going to mistake them for a top tier team, at least not yet. AEW obviously is looking to push them, and they're using FTR's credibility to do so. It's certainly not without its risk, but it will be worth if it pays off, and given the uncertainty of FTR's future in AEW, it's a calculated risk. And number 5, another good MJF promo. MJF delivered another biting promo, reminding Bryan Danielson who the champion is and who the contender is. This wasn't MJF's best promo, but then again his worst promos are still better than many of the wrestling world's best. Well, that was a good. What about the bad is number 1, work shoot with the Acclaimed and Jeff Jarrett. And we hope last night's win by the Acclaimed over Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett isn't the end of the AEW World Tag Team Champions program with Lethal and Double J. The heels are decent opponents, but the work shoot involving Jarrett claiming he was going to give Max Caster a receipt in the ring over Caster's diss rap on Jarrett is borderline Russo level booking. AEW fans know Tony Khan wouldn't let Caster air a video mocking Jarrett's manager Kurt Angle's ex-wife if Khan thought Jeff would get upset. And number 2, Moxley sick of sympathy for Adam Page. Jon Moxley is beginning to come off as a schmuck as he complains about injury-prone wrestlers and that he's sick of the sympathy being shown for Hangman Adam Page. This is a bad look for Moxley, and unless Page is going to turn heel and reveal he's been faking his injury or its severity, the complaints are pointless. Now, there was nothing downright ugly as Dynamite delivered an entertaining show that included some build-up for AEW's next pay-per-view, but also kept viewers invested into last night's show. But what do you guys think of Dynamite last night? Let us know in the comments down below. Now, let's move on to the news. And there is breaking news as Money in the Bank is coming to the UK. Top of today's news is the announcement that the 2023 Money in the Bank PLE will take place in London, England on 1st July at the O2 Arena. WWE executive Dan Ventrella announced the O2 is one of the world's premier venues and the perfect home for Money in the Bank. We're excited to bring one of our Big 5 events to the UK and look forward to welcoming the WWE Universe to London on July 1st. The O2 Senior Programming Director commented, "We are honoured to be hosting the first ever Money in the Bank event taking place in the UK here at the O2. We're looking forward to welcoming back WWE fans to the O2 this summer for an unforgettable night with some of WWE's biggest superstars." Now, the O2 Arena holds roughly 20,000 people, so the WWE should have no problem selling the show out, especially in the light of the company's current success with ticket sales. But to be fair, tickets aren't cheap. We've had an early look at it, and floor seats are around $4,000, with the top tier nosebleed seats being around $300, which is quite a lot. And we are surprised that they're not choosing another stadium, such as Wembley Stadium. They would surely pack that out. Now, there were rumours that Money in the Bank would join Hell in a Cell and Extreme Rules and being cancelled since the WWE was reportedly looking to avoid stipulation-based PLEs. There were also rumors that WWE was going to either scrap the Money in the Bank concept entirely due to the perception that by some it had lost its effectiveness, or that the matches would move to WrestleMania. Next up, Mercedes Money not heading to AEW. And while it looked like she might be Soraya's mystery partner on the 11th January edition of Dynamite, AEW had Soraya reveal Toni Storm as her partner on last night's Dynamite, which makes it appear Money won't be on Dynamite next week. Meltzer commented on the Wrestling Observer Radio saying, "She's not in LA, she's not coming to AEW. I don't think she wants to make that commitment, because if she's going to AEW, it's a long commitment." Meltzer added that the WWE believes Banks will come back to the WWE at some point. I also know from WWE that they're very strongly under the impression that she will not wrestle for AEW. They think that she's coming back at some point and she'll get this out of her system and she'll do her New Japan matches, because she's only contracted for a couple of matches, and if she's going to AEW, she has to sign for 3 years minimum, because why bother if she's going back? While AEW could be playing its cards close to the vest, the current belief seems to be Mercedes isn't going to AEW. Next up, AEW trying to sign the Young Bucks to a new deal. Speaking of AEW, Fightful Select reports that AEW is still negotiating with the Young Bucks to sign a new deal. So far, nothing has been worked out, and Dave Meltzer commented on The Observer that the Bucks' contract is up at the end of the year, and AEW does want to lock them in. AEW contacted them and wants to start the negotiations, but there have been no negotiations as of today, and they're certainly not close to a deal. Right now, that's where it's at. With the WWE looking to sign AEW talent, you can be sure the Bucks know their worth. The question is, how much are both AEW and the WWE willing to pay, whether the Bucks prefer one promotion over the other? While WWE legally can't negotiate with the Bucks while they're under contract at AEW, you can't rule out an unofficial communication with them. Next up, new year, new me, or should we say new set? As Dynamite kicked off 2023 with a new set and a new opening, with AEW scrapping its tunnel entrances and introducing an LED heavy entrance that looks much sharper than the previous site, as well as a bit brighter. Some fans compared it to the WWE's Titantron, but we'll let you judge for yourself. Next up, a new champion crowned on Dynamite. Congratulations to Darby Allin on winning the TNT Championship from Samoa Joe. This is Darby's second run as TNT Champion, and hopefully it will give AEW a chance to do more with Allin, a wrestler who's referred to as one of the 4 pillars of AEW. Next up, Ronda Rousey blasted for not caring about wrestling. Ronda Rousey's second run in the WWE has received considerable criticism from fans, and now WWE Hall of Famer Teddy Long is sharing his own criticism about Rowdy Ronda. Long spoke out on the One-on-One podcast saying, "I'm glad that you mentioned this because it's definitely how I feel. I don't think she cares about anything about our business. I don't think she takes professional wrestling seriously. I think that with her it's all about Ronda Rousey. She's one of those people who would go into business for themselves. So like I said, great person, but this business is different. You gotta take it real seriously." The former SmackDown general manager isn't the first person to question Rousey's love for the sport, but what you guys think? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up, a former WWE writer roasts NXT. A former WWE creative employee, Freddie Prinze Jr., is speaking out about the NXT, and it's not good. Freddie reportedly developed his own wrestling promotion and compared his prospective show to NXT on his Wrestling with Freddie podcast. I know this, it's going to be better than NXT, because there ain't anything in the world worse than that goddamn show. I've given it a chance like once every 6 weeks. I'll go, yeah, I'll watch it for a little bit, and it's absolute garbage. It went from my favourite promotion when it was black and gold to unwatchable. Unwatchable like a local theatre production. The last 2 times I've tried, it was terrible. I really don't like crapping on stuff unless it offends me what they're doing to talent that I care about. Do you think NXT deserves this criticism? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up, Dominik Mysterio getting engaged. A congratulations are in order for Dominik Mysterio, who announced his engagement. The 25-year-old current Raw star posted a picture with his longtime girlfriend Maria Juliet wearing an engagement ring to Instagram. Dominik is currently a member of the Judgment Day stable and has an undefined relationship with Rhea Ripley. A congrats to Dominik on this huge milestone in his life. Next up, William Regal back in the WWE. And last but not least, William Regal is back in WWE. Regal, who left the WWE last year for AEW only to obtain an early release from AEW, officially returned to the company on 4th January. PW Insider reported that Regal is back in the WWE, and it remains to be seen what official title he'll have in the company. But there you have it, folks, the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know. Be sure to leave your comments down below, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.